Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, I don't have the time to be up here. I'm supposed to be gone from here for 2 weeks, but if something is heartbreaking and it is my subject matter, and it's my subject matter not because I'm doing some clinical examination of radiation, it's my subject matter because I give a damn about us. And I know we can stop this from happening before it gets even worse than it's already getting. And they're doing everything they can to come up with excuses to hide their bloody hand. And so, whether anybody comes on in or not, if you listen later, I welcome you. I am grateful. This is completely spontaneous. I haven't even looked through the headlines. I was going to just take a couple moments to look through all the headlines. I saw this and I was like, "Oh my god." Um and so let me share my screen and let's see. Yeah. Allow. Oh, select screen. Okay, entire screen. I'm sure there's a better way, but this is the way I do it. Um and go right to the article that I found over in Daily Mail. Uh, Snoop Dogg's daughter, Corey Brodas, 24, suffers severe stroke. Reveals she broke down in tears when doctors confirm the medical emergency. Now, here's the thing that a lot of us don't understand about radiation. Number one, they're giving us the false story. That is the jab. You need to I'm not saying what you need to do or don't need to do. It's going to be up to you, but I'm just letting you know. I check stats on as much as I can that is directly attributable to the carnage of man made radiation. Most of that has absolutely nothing to do with a jab, a glowing ocean, uh, billions of dead creatures that didn't stand in line to get their little jabberdoony, right? Um, Airplane, I don't know. Yeah, airplanes crashing this past month. It's gone through the roof. And these white people who are at the tippy top, they know what the hell's going on. That's why in very covert ways they've been, you know, minimizing air flight as much as they can, and so that they could reduce the impact. Because when you have a whole friggin' 737 go down and 300 people are incinerated on impact, that gets to be embarrassing for these psychopaths. They really don't care about people. Otherwise, they wouldn't do what they're doing. But they don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be sued. So that's the only reason why they found very clever ways to minimize air traffic, including I've heard from a different uh, flight staff that they're docking airplanes over stuff that they would have never docked them before. It'll be a gust of wind. And the entire airline, the entire airport is just shut down. No flights going out whatsoever. They can't do much with people with their little Cessnas and their little Piper planes. A lot of white people are not buying Cessnas anymore because so many of them have started crashing. And they attribute it to the brand. That's what they know, that most people have very simple concepts of reality. I'm not saying whether you're smart or dumb because of that. I'm saying it's natural not to be a devil, not to think like the devil. So you know you have someone hunting you viciously, right? And so they're changing their brand of airplane for their little private flights around. And it doesn't matter. They're still going down, all brands, because the safety requirements on private planes are far less. They know. What are they going to do? Go to everybody's private airfield hangar and check out? Did you run your airplane for 48 hours straight to make sure that it's all, doesn't have any interstitial vacancies? That just means cracks. They always have such fancy ways of just explaining basic plumbing so that we wind up being afraid to even research beyond what I'm sharing with you. So that's why I keep putting the book list out, because it's basic plumbing. That's why I am at wit's end trying to figure out how to work my computer. But for some reason, nuclear physics is like super easy for me. I read nuclear physics books like they're fun. I don't know, but it's basic plumbing. If something's hot, it's going to break stuff apart. If it's hot on a subatomic level, it's really going to break stuff apart. So I wanted to, oops, sorry about that. I didn't know I had that going right there. I wanted to share with you just some graphs, all right? That I don't have anything prepared. I'm just here because I give a damn, all right? I know it's weird, right? Because they've taught us that everybody's a friggin' psychopath. No, we're not. I shared it with Dr. Shi, where they had in Daily Mail this thing where they said if your index finger is slightly shorter than your ring finger, I think that was it, or was it the other way around? I don't know. Then more than likely you're a psychopath. I'm just like, no, they just want to talk everybody into believing, because we've been so numbed by the entertainment that shows nonstop brutality, by all these stories of, oh my goodness gracious, I hope they can stop. But there's so many white people out there who are just like axing their entire family and themselves too, right? So much for we're the most violent people on the planet. But oh, let me hide this right here. This is percentage of low birth weight babies by race and ethnicity. We're the people they abducted because we're so incredibly strong. You can still see that evidence on every single athletic court in the world, no matter what it is. If we put our mind to it, we are going to be tops sooner or later. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying the facts. There's white people out there who are amazing athletes. I don't need white people to be the some source of all evil on the planet in order for me to know you are not us. We are not you. We best separate, because your people, you got something wrong with yours. And so that they'll poison the whole planet with radiation. And a lot of you working for these dudes won't say a mumbling daggone word. You'll even troll on their behalf. Channels, good white anti-nukers out there, you'll create whole channels trying to defame them. And they're doing the best that they can with, the skills they have. I'm just saying. So how is it that we're the strongest people genetically on Earth, and our babies would be being born at a 13.8% level of low birth weight babies, well above every other race of people? That's screaming targeted attacks, genocidal attacks. And when I look at this, and I've read so many books, nobody can come up and do an actual debate with me about radiation, because I will bury them. Radiation causes prenatal death and low birth weight. It also causes enhanced retardation. I know you're not supposed to say that word, but I can't think of the one that's supposed to be PC now. All I know is that it gives rise to a decrease in mental acuity among infants, children, and as they grow. That could be one of the reasons. Dr. Sternglass, in his book, and he wrote it right after 3 Mile Island, he said, what are we going to do? Because each generation is going to be less smart than the one before, when modern society is so complicated. So I look right now at like when I saw them trying to say that Michael Jackson, his adopted children were actually his children, all because he went out and got his skin lightened, I was like, what? That's not their biological father? That brother was beautifully deep brown. He was only chemically turned into what tore his face to pieces. Okay? So for us to not be screaming about us, for us to not be reading those books as if nuclear physics is some sort of like just mystical, magical, like you got to be super intelligent. I know daggone well I am not the most intelligent woman on the planet, right? Especially out of even Black people, because I hang out with us and I will listen to what the way we make juxtapositions and analysis, and the way we are reinventing everything that we can get our hands on as soon as we get our hands on it. I'm just one of us. I'm just working in our nature. And so when I see this, I'm like, yeah, maybe Dr. Ernest Sternglass was right, because he also said they were shipping that radiation directly to us. So when I see that, Snoop Dogg's daughter suffered a stroke. Now, let's be honest. Sister is slightly overweight, but I'm telling you, at 24, just 10 years ago, you have to be massively overweight to suffer a stroke. And it's the fact that nobody is talking about Fukushima. And it's not just Fukushima, it's all the sources of radiation. Let's go on over to the Maris map, because I got to talk about that sea moss. I got to wonder, was this sister eating sea moss? Oh, it's not coming up now. It ain't coming up now. I don't know if this is, I'm not trying to have these people gaslight me into insanity where I'm going to jump like everything, right? Ain't no such thing as conspiracy theories. This is just what these people do. But some things are just, they have no logical conclusion in them. So when people were talking about planet Nibiru, I was like, no, I'm just worried about this planet right here. Okay. And all sorts of other things, such as flat earth and the rest of it. I'm like, good Lord, they are really trying to distract us. So unfortunately, family, I can't show you that the radiation is all over the daggone planet. Let's see if it comes up now. Nope. Came up just this morning, but not now. All right. But let me go back to the memes, because I have a bunch of them over here. This one here. So that folks can understand what I'm talking about. I'm not joking. I know what I'm talking about. This is the energy of all sorts of devices and waves and particles, starting with ELF, going past. Here goes the cell phone right over here. Microwaves. You don't eat your cell phone. You're not eating that stuff. But when it comes to what's in a particle of radiation, an atom of radiation, you're eating this level. This level, the picture is wonderful for giving you a concept about just how much more detrimental it is. But when you see this 30, I forget what the E hertz is, but it's just like billions of times more incinerating than any microwave out there. So when you hear people saying, oh, it's the 5G, oh, they're going to be coming out with 37G next week, and that's all going to hurt us. I'm not saying that Wi-Fi isn't horrible. I have a Wi-Fi sensitivity. I can't hold my phone in my hand. I'm really grateful that my body alerts me. Something wrong here. Trust and believe. Maybe it's some sort of spiritual thing too, because my soul alerts me. Well, if that's bad, what the hell is this? And we eat it. And so they daggone tootin' better not let me show you that map over on the International Atomic Energy Agency. And I read all about you dudes in the crime of Chernobyl, right? I read all about how you scrub information when absolutely dedicated to saving their own people. Dr. Yuri Bandashevsky and Dr. I can't remember, Vasily Nesterenko, that's his name, were out there trying to save people. And you dudes went in there and stopped it. You stopped it. You stopped them from saving even children. I think Chernobyl was just your experiment to see if you could kill us. And the CMOS is how you do it, because in that CMOS is this stuff, the gamma rays emitting levels of radiation. Even the tritium water is deadly. Right? Let me show you. I got that also, where I have a picture of let's see now. I want to, well, I still have that. Okay, good. Let's see now. What was it? Oh, tritium. There it is, right there. Dead fish after tritium drop. I mean, this was wild, right? They say it was a mile, 1 to 2 miles long. I'm looking at this, I'm like 1 to 2 square miles long. Okay. Because this is right after the dump of the tritium water. Even the tritium water is deadly. They just hide the information because they trust and believe that nobody's going to look, nobody's going to believe. So I could get rid of this one because that's kind of all fuzzy. But this one, let me go on over to the one that, yeah, okay, this is good. Here in the seawater, you could have very little detectable radiation, but all the plant life, all the sea life is going to absorb massive quantities. According to Dr. Yuri Bandashevsky, 50 becquerels, that's BQ, per kilogram of dry weight of whatever is enough to cause irreparable damage in every single organ of your body. That's wild. And that map, they won't let me show you that it's not just Fukushima and all sources of nuclear radiation, as there's no low dose safe, according even to the IAEA, right? You're going to tell me that they're just like, suddenly there's a campaign where black folks got ECMOS, like it's going to save them, right? No, it's not. That's a genocidal campaign. They got plenty of agents and operatives. And you may say, but why would they do that? They don't know. They don't know. And if I show up, they've been told, no, 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 avoid her. Avoid her. And they'll just assume, because I've heard it from people who I thought were good. Now I know they were agents, but I'm not going to say anything because I'd be up here all day long. And then it would get to be a big old brouhaha over who I think is an agent without adequate proof and who I don't. But I had one who on the phone was like, well, you're not practical, or you should be more practical. And another one who said, oh, she's just a nice little housewife, trying to undermine the facts. What the hell does that, me personally, have to do with me just showing you the brutal facts? So let's keep it going, all right? Because okay, that was that one. And there's another one. Nope, nope, nope. That's enough for that right there. Let's go to, see, I got things I don't even do, radioactivity and consumer food. I am always, I should probably show this about the tritium. Well, I don't need to. There's so much. I want to show, let's see, what was it? The mussels. Yeah, that's a good one. There we go. This is also a photo I got from Daily Mail, where this is polluted, I think, river water. And then they use human-made processes to get the amount of pollutants out. And then they just use mussels over here. So you can see the automatic difference. Anything coming from the sea is going to be absorbing what the IAEA suddenly don't want me to show you, which is just how much radiation is saturating our globe from all man-made nuclear sources. And a goodly some of them, they don't even tell us what the hell's going on because they're owned by the military. They're run for the military. They could be having accidents galore. I saw a story where a woman has a tumor on her eyeball. Good Lord. White woman doesn't, not that it doesn't happen to us. I'm just saying, I'm not gloating over it, but I'm saying these people that kill their own and they have no remorse about it whatsoever. They're psychopaths. Okay? If you're a white person and you're not a psychopath, Woo! You need to be dropping down on your knees and thanking Allah almost, I don't know, half your day, every day, right? But get to work and stop being insulted because I just say with two separate people, right? So let me go on over to this other Daily Mail article. Let's see. Let's try it one more time. Let's see if it'll come up. Refresh, 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 right? No. Okay, where was I? I don't mean to laugh because first off, I'm glad that the sister survived her medical emergency. That's a really good thing. That's much more painful if I've come up here and report about something where someone's died. That's heartbreaking. Record 2 million Americans will get cancer this year. Now, I need to emphasize radiation doesn't just cause cancer. It causes strokes. It causes myocarditis that they're trying to attribute just to the jabberoni. Jab, 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 jab. And as I said, a whole lot of people ain't get that thing. Right? But if they're eating like there's no tomorrow, then woo, you putting yourself right on the train tracks. And I'm just trying to scream, yo, you're on the train tracks. But no, you listening to the snake who's rattling around in and out saying, no, this ain't no train track. This my home. What you talking about? Don't listen to that crazy old woman over there. Okay? Record 2 million Americans will get cancer this year amid epidemic in young people. The other day I showed an article once again that the World Health Organization had predicted a just like I think it was 65% increase rate of cancer worldwide. And they said, oh, it's because of aging. These people ain't never getting a chance to age. Okay? And so I don't want to hear that is because everybody's getting so old now. No, they're not even getting a moment chance to get old. Goddamn snakes on a train. So use our map to see where states where diagnoses are most common. This is such proof that I know daggone well what I have been warning everybody about for the longest time. Where you see the most is the number of new cancer cases in 2024. Oh, look, it increased exponentially over in California. I showed the projection map from the National Oceanic Atomic or Atmospheric Agency, where you could look it up yourself, projection map Fukushima, and right here got hammered. And then some of it deflected. It was deflected by the Rocky Mountains. But I know you're like, well, what's going on with Texas? And then Florida. Florida's a little even shadier than Texas. Not to be making any fun of DeSantis, even though it's so easy with them heels. According to Dr. Sternglass and other Ralph Graub, I read his book also. The precipitation, because most of the radiation is up in the troposphere. It comes down in the rain. So those areas like Dr. Oh my goodness, don't let me forget. Lauren Murray. She also confirmed that in Pennsylvania, there was an awful lot of precipitation. And in Dr. Sternglass's book, he went over that because he was just studying the fallout from the nuclear test bombs in the Midwest. Look at the Midwest. It was just bombs. Fukushima is a whole nother thing. It was such an aberration that they can't hide it. And they've tried. They've had unnatural explosions, such as the WIP processing station somewhere down over, I don't know if it was in Tennessee or whatever, somewhere over here. And all of a sudden, plutonium was flying out. When I saw that, I didn't understand. Now I know. They were trying to minimize the garish extent of the difference between what's happening on the West Coast. I mean, that's just off the charts, and what's happening every place else. And I warned people way back then. I said, move off the West Coast. I put that video out there. I think it may be about 20 probably 2017, I put that video on out there, right? I was just, you got to go. You got to move. This the reason. This the reason. This should be an evacuation zone. And it is an evacuation zone, but they don't want people to know. So in this article, they say, oh, the reason why California has so many of these new cancers is because they have double the population. But then when you keep scrolling down to the older maps, there's one coming up. I hope they ain't changed that. Oh, there we go. This is 2016 to 2020. What? There wasn't double the population. More people in California back then than there are now, because a lot of people, smart people, are hightailing it out. I feel for the people who are stuck for whatever reason, just like they did during the Dust Bowl. Just pitch grandma up to the roof or whatever thing with four wheels you got and hightail it the hell out of there. It's not going to get better. Okay? And so, yeah, back in 2020, there wasn't twice the population. I got this file. Let me find it. Because it's got some really the evacuation is getting ridiculous. Let's see now. I could read the headlines. I don't have to go to all the stories, but the appeals court, this is all on the West Coast. They're saying the homeless have a right to camp out on sidewalks. That's like saying murderers and drug dealers and prostitution and all the rest of these other, not conducive to a civil society type of activities. That's like, so, oh no, that's fine to do that wherever you feel like doing it. That's because in a non-obvious manner, they have been evacuating the West Coast for a very, very long time. Very long time. All right. Let's see why wealthy Californians are ditching their LA mansions in droves and where they are fleeing. Some of them, they may know. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I have to move something. Okay, that might make this, if there was a little bit of an echo, I had to scoot my microphone up out of the little holder there. I will come on over because I don't want to be here long. I could just get started talking about this and I will just keep on going. And so let me see what else I wanted to briefly share. This is 13 years ago. Fox News. U.S. is receiving a steady flow of radiation from Fukushima. Media paying little attention to radiation in food as if problem only involves Japan. Let's go on over to DuckDuckGo. I can find it faster if I see the wording itself. So let me put FDA. FDA. There we go. Right? There we go. Today, FDA is deactivating import alert 99-33. Okay, let's see now. Here we go. Today, FDA does that say eliminating? Let me see. What was that? Oh, it's over here. Is deactivating. Okay, is deactivating #import alert 99 was that 63 or 33? 33. Okay. Let's see what I get. Yep. FDA response to Fukushima nuclear power facility incident. This is like, I'm like, the fact that this is real, I'm not kidding you. There should be absolutely no issue from anyone whatsoever. I mean, was it? Oh, Dr. Shi had said you would be surprised at how many people I'm reaching. And I agree. I know that they tweak the numbers so that if you are running a channel that they don't approve of, they'll make you think it's far less impactful than it actually is. I see that with, Brother Mad Black TV. I'll watch, and I see that with Dr. Shi on his channel. I'll watch the whole thing. And then the little red line that indicates how much they recognized I watch, it will be like half, it'll be 1/10 of what I actually watched. So that's how they keep the numbers low, because they know that psychologically people are going to be attracted to what they think is popular. And thereby, then they won't get the facts. All right. And so here, they say they're deactivating the alert, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to, nowhere in here does it say there's no more radiation in this food. And I've done shares on this channel, even where I've shown that these farm areas are right next to 1 million 1 ton each bags of radioactive debris that they dug up. That's still radioactive. They're not changing it. They're talking about they're dumping the tritium water, but all they're doing with that stuff is just burning it. You can't burn it, and you can't dilute radiation. I don't give a damn how much water is on this planet. When you've got something that will take you out and all you need is one atom, it ain't going to happen. Okay? And it creates something, as I could get into it, buckyballs. And this is where the radiation impacts with the sulfur in the seawater, and it forms this geodesic configuration where right on inside is that radioactive isotope still blazing a trail, and it floats on the water. It actually, because it has a buoyancy, so things that might have sunk on down, they're right up on top of the water. Got Hawaiian surfers just clocking out. Had a white dude from Hawaii, oh my goodness, left a comment. I was appreciative of his comment. He was like, can you talk about Hawaii? Well, I know about the surfers. So many surfers are dying because they keep going into that daggone water, right? And I know everybody notices all these really hungry predator species in the water. That's because they're not stupid. These animals are not stupid. They get hungry. They're not going to just quietly say, well, there's no more food in the ocean, I'm just going to die. No, they're going to go where there's a lot of activity, places that they ordinarily have epigenetically learned to avoid because the humans are dangerous. And they're going to go and get themselves a nice little leg meal. I'm sorry about the people losing their lives, right? But I'm just saying. So this white dude, he said to me, because I explained also how the Lahaina fire was more than likely deliberate, and that a native Hawaiian came out, and I saw it on TMG. They took it out. They took the video down, or they edited it. But for a moment, the dude said, and the white people stick together. He was saying something funny went on with that fire, but the white people stick together. And that's the part they chopped out. So I was just telling him what I know about Hawaii. And all of a sudden he had to say, not, oh my God, that's horrible. I can't believe my people would do something like that. But you know what? I know so much else that we do. I'm not surprised. No, he didn't say that. He came back and he said, well, I'm one of them white people. Because I said pale people. He said, well, I'm one of them pale people. And I just was like, you know what? This is a waste of my time. In order to wake them up, we would each and every single one of us would have to go door to door and spend our lifetime trying to explain to them why being the devil is a terrible, stupid thing to be. And they would still never hear us because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel good. I just finished watching a documentary about Epstein. I was never interested, but I watched his documentary, and also, oh goodness, the Bernie Madoff one also. And these things are fascinating because the thing they never examine is that there's all these people protecting them who never get exposed. That this is a whole system that is run by those satanic elites, and they make sure that nothing ever gets back to them. So you don't hear their names mentioned in the papers or in these headlines. right? And they're right now just throwing whatever they can at the fan so you will not smell the truth. And that's all that's going on right now. Please share this warning because ain't nobody else bringing it to you. Donate to assist us in bringing you the full truth. I mean, good Lord, that's simple. That's easy, right? Because our children are eating this food. Our children going back. Ooh, I know Snoop Dogg also recently lost, I think, his brand new nephew's baby. I don't know. I only pay so much attention, and I surely don't mean him any disrespect, even though he's a questionable person himself. Hanging out with Martha Stewart and a whole bunch of other stuff I know about his um life before he became famous. But I don't want anybody to be taken out before they have a time to wake up and they have no idea what the hell took them out. That's just not fair, right? Now, once you are just fully working for these devil people, then bye. You ain't gonna make it. You just aren't. Okay? There's a whole nother system that's greater than anything they got to offer. And so you are toast. Whoa, you were toast. But that's why I do what I do, because it's got to be done. All right. All right. Let me come on over because I have said all I need to say and greet. Get out. Oh, it's Dr. She. That makes me so happy. Oh, okay. Let me not get too goofy because I could get goofy, right? Um, Peace, Brother Ali Hammett and Brother Daniel Campbell and Sis Yafa Ya Yisrael. Just kidding. Yeah, I know I didn't announce this or anything. I just had to say something. So let me get out of here because it's only 37 minutes. And that way people might actually watch it. Watch it, share it. Go to 25,000yearcycle.org. You are going to get a level of healing there that there's no other platform on the planet. That's just the truth. That's going to give you that healing. All right. And you're going to get, we're just about building a whole new earth for us. All right. That's what we're about. I love your family. Straight Black pride. And our families are here forever. Peace and blessings.